Hi there, it's time for another domino trick tutorial. Alright, let's just dive right into this. Now I'm going to start building, but you don't necessarily have to follow along first. So this trick is actually a revisitation of another trick which I called Upwall. And the thing about the original version is that if you were to make a large scale, you'd end up with something that would look like a pyramid. Now that is not very ideal for a wall, even with regular walls, so I really wanted something that would make a perfect rectangular wall if you were to make it full scale. But that made me have to come up with another mechanism. So it just so happens that I am making the mechanism right now. So let me just finish this off here. And just like that. So if you imagine that the green domino is the end of a domino line going that way, and this yellow domino starts off another domino line going this way, on top of the first one, this is the mechanism that should do the job. So if you see this green domino fall down, it should tap the left end of this orange domino downward and get this right end of the orange domino to be tapped upward. It will nudge this red domino and the right end of this blue domino. Now this yellow and blue domino is placed in such a way that they are perfectly balanced on this edge. Actually, the center of gravity is just a tad bit to the right, so that's the smallest nudge would cause it to fall over, but not any small vibrations, so there's a little bit of a leeway. So let's see what this looks like in regular time and in slow motion. Yes, so you saw that part fell off and the blue part fell off, but when you make it in a wall, it's actually much more stable. So without further ado, let's see how this is like if you were to integrate it into a wall. Alrighty, so let's just dive right into this. First, we're going to remake the mechanism I just made. First off, you want a purple domino placed on its face with its end towards you. Next up, I have a couple of clear dominoes, and I will stand them up with their faces towards you, and you want to place them on either end or both ends of the purple domino. So the back face of this clear domino should be lined up with the back end of the purple domino, and vice versa, with the second domino. Next up, I have an orange domino that I will place on its face. It has to be perpendicular to the purple domino, and on the right side you want to overhang the orange domino by the thickness of one domino. If you were to look from the left, the distance between the orange and the clear dominoes are the same on either side. Next up, I have a red domino which I will stand with its long edge facing you, and you want it to be on the overhang on the right side of the orange domino. Next up, I have a purple domino that I will place on its face and bridge it over top of the two clear dominoes, and you want it to be directly above the first purple domino. Also, other things to keep in mind is that the top part of the red domino should be flush or hugging this purple domino on top. So if there's a gap like that, feel free to slide the orange and red domino so that the red domino is hugging the purple domino. Next up, I have a blue domino, which I will place perpendicular to both purple dominoes, just like so. You want the blue domino to be directly above the orange one, and you want the right end of the blue and orange dominoes to be lined up with the right face of the red domino. Next up is the most crucial domino, the yellow one. I will stand it up with its long edge facing you, and you want to place it on the left overhang of the blue domino. Now, the way you want to place it depends on the very slight tilts of the working surface that you have, so the best thing you can do is try to place it in the middle of the portion that is overhung. And be very careful. Don't completely let go, as you might find that the whole thing tips over. You want to try to find a balance point where even the gentlest of nudges to the left will cause the whole system to fall over like that. So you want to keep your other finger ready to catch that so it doesn't fall all the way off. So that's a bit too close for comfort. So you want to slide it a little bit to the right, maybe something very small, so that even a little nudge or wiggle will not cause the whole thing to topple immediately or prematurely. So if you push just a tiny bit and it doesn't tip over right away, and that happens only when you push 1 millimeter, then that's perfectly fine, and that's about as much as you want to set it. And of course, you'd have a line going leading to the orange domino. Now, when you make the wall, you will actually have this at the far right corner of the wall. So let me just shift this whole thing over. Now keep in mind you still want the face of the clear domino to be facing you. It just looks a bit tilted in the video. But try to keep it parallel with or lined up with how you'd want the wall to be oriented in the future. Next up, I have another purple domino which I will lie on its face, and you want it to be parallel to the first purple domino. So of course the front and back ends are lined up with each other, and the gap between the purple domino, the last one we just placed, and this orange domino should actually be a little bit less than the thickness of a domino. Now it's a bit difficult to tell how much, but it all depends on how you will build the rest of the wall, which it's a bit difficult to tell at the moment. So just try to put a little bit less than the thickness of a domino. Now if you were to look from the left side, you'd see that the two first purple dominoes and the clear ones will resemble a rectangular frame. You will not actually make that right here. You'll make what is a U structure with these two clear dominoes. Of course, I will do something similar to the other ones. I'll stand them on their ends and place them on both ends of the purple domino. So in this case, if you were to look from the left side, you'd see a U structure, not a complete rectangle. So you don't want to complete this top part. You want to actually segue into another domino, a green one, and you want to stand them up with its long edge towards you and place it right beside the U structure. So the gap between the green domino and this purple domino, or this U structure, should be just a tad bit less than the thickness of a domino. Also, if you were to look from the left side, the green domino should be in between the two gray dominoes. Sorry, the two clear dominoes. They do look gray in some situations. Next up, you want to make another U structure parallel with this one, and this time you want it to be hugging the first green domino, like so. And of course you want the bottom purple dominoes to be all parallel with each other and lined up. And of course this is a U structure, so you need a couple more clear dominoes. Place them on both ends, as usual. And continue the cycle by adding another green domino. So at this point, or of course you want the difference between this green domino and the U structure to be still less than the thickness of a domino. And now you see the pattern. You want to alternate between U structure and green domino, U structure and green domino. And when you're satisfied, end the pattern with a U structure. So for this, to make this clearer, the demonstration here, I'm going to make a few more U structures. One more. Alrighty, let me orient this just a tad bit. Alrighty, Next up, I have a purple domino, which I'll place on its face with its end towards you, and I want to actually complete the leftmost U structure by placing this purple domino directly above the bottom purple domino. Now you might notice you have a section of middle U structures. So in between each U structure, you're going to actually place another purple domino. And you want them to be parallel with all the other purple dominoes. So in this case, you see you have these first two middle U structures. You'll place a domino just like that between the two U structures right there. And you want to continue off, and you want to keep them as centered as possible between the two U structures that they're on, just like that. Next up, I have a couple more dominoes, purple ones as well. You want to also make them parallel to the other purple dominoes by placing them on their face, and looking at the leftmost and rightmost middle U structures, you want to overhang them, like so. On the left, you want to overhang the purple domino on the left and hug it to the other bridging purple domino. And the same thing on the right. You want to place one overhanging like so. Now you know that these two are very carefully balanced, so to avoid that, you can actually switch the order that you place them, and you can overhang the purple domino like that, and place another purple domino in its place, like this. Now you see this bit of purple that is overhung to the right, and this blue domino. You want there to be a bit of a gap between the two. If you were to look directly above, you'd see a small gap of light or whatever's underneath there. That way there's some clearance when this blue domino swings down a little bit. Otherwise there won't be any movement at all, and this would just be bounced on this bit and that bit, so the trick would not work. Next up, I'm going to grab even more purple dominoes, and again I will place them on their face with their ends towards you, and you want them to be directly above the bottom purple domino, as in the bottom of what was once the U structures. Now you're only doing that on the middle U structures. Like so. Of course you want to try to keep it as lined up as possible so that all the ends of the purple dominoes are lined up. And on the leftmost rectangular frame, you'll get another purple domino, and this time you will overhang it to the left a little bit on top of the rectangle. And the amount you want to overhang is actually a little bit different and is hard to tell at this moment. So we will get back to that. Next up, I have two clear dominoes, as you can see. I'll place them on their side this time with their faces facing you, and they will be on their long edge. Now you want to place it behind the yellow and blue dominoes that are balanced precariously, so be careful not to nudge them. And you want to place them on the rightmost rectangular frame, and you want the back face of this clear domino to be lined up with the back of the purple domino in the frame, and you also want the left end of the clear domino to be on top of this right overhanging purple, and you want it to be hugging this purple domino right there. I'm sure I'll have some angles set up in one corner of this video. And you want to do the exact opposite here by getting the second clear domino, and as you can see, it's on its side with its face facing you, and it's on its long edge, and its front face is lined up with all these ends of the purple domino, and it's on the overhang right there. Next up, I'll get another purple domino. Yes, lots of purple dominoes in this trick. You want to place it on its face with its end facing you, bridging over the last two clear dominoes we placed, and you want it to be directly above the other purple dominoes on the rightmost bit of wall. Just like that. Next up, we'll grab another two clear dominoes, and we'll place them on their side or their long edge, with their faces facing you and directly above each of the last two clear dominoes. So you want the back face of this clear domino to be lined up with the back end of this purple domino, and reverse for this other clear domino. Next up, yes, I just flashed the wrong color domino. Get two more clear dominoes, and you will start to make U structures on here. So let's continue here. We'll place one clear domino standing up with their faces towards you on both ends of this purple domino, like so. Now you might notice that there's a gap between this clear domino, the ones that are on their side, and the one on the back as well. When you look between that one and the standing U structure, and you can slide the sideways dominoes just a little bit so that they hug the U structure. Next up, I have a green domino, and you'll place it beside the U structure. And now this is an important bit. If you look, you'll have a green domino line that'll be going to the right, and look at how they're hugging the left U structure, or their corresponding left U structure. Well, when you go to the next level, the domino line will be going the other way. So you'll actually want the green domino to not be on the left gap, or left side of the gap. You want it to be to the right. You want them to hug their right U structure. And again, if you were to look from the left, you'd see the green domino is be in the middle of the two clear dominoes. So alternate again between U structure and green domino. And I can't emphasize this enough. Hug the green domino to its right U structure. Just like that. And you're going to want to end with the U structure with the leftmost purple domino that is in the middle, like that. Now for a small moment of time, I'm going to shift over this way so you get a better view. And the way this is going to work, let's see how this will work. I have an orange domino. Yes, that's right, another orange domino. So we're going to start making the the mechanism that we had back there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this perpendicular to this topmost purple domino, and I will make it perpendicular to this one, to this purple domino, the orange and purple. And you want to this time overhang the thickness of a domino on the left of the purple domino with the orange one. And as you can see, the space between this left overhanging purple and the right end of this orange domino is a bit much. You want it so that if you were to look from above, you'd only see a crack of light. So I'll move this over a little bit. And my camera is overheating, so I'll be right back. And hopefully, as nothing didn't happen, I will get another two clear dominoes, like so. And I will place them, making another U structure around the orange domino, like so. Next up, we're going to continue the mechanism by getting another red domino, standing it up on its end with its long edge towards you, and place it on the left end that is overhung of the orange domino. Now you want the left face of the red domino to be flush with the left end of the orange domino. And try to keep things as lined up as possible, of course. Next up, I'm going to get a purple domino, like so. I'll place it on its face with its end towards you. And you want to finish the rectangular frame only on the leftmost U structure. And like before, you can adjust the red and the orange domino so that the red domino is hugging the highest purple domino on the left side. Next up, I'm going to get some more purple dominoes, place them on their faces with their ends towards you, and bridge them between only the middle U structures. So let me reposition the camera again, like that. And seeing these 4 U structures, you're going to bridge a purple domino across them. Of course, you want to keep them parallel to this purple domino, and you want the ends to be lined up. Next up, I'll grab a couple more purple dominoes, again place them on their face with their ends towards you, and on the leftmost and rightmost middle U structures, you want to overhang a purple domino, like that. On the left side, you overhang to the left, and you want it to hug this bridging purple domino, and same on the right side, like that. You see this side lying clear domino? It's alright if you place or overhang the purple domino on top of that clear domino, just like that. Next up, I have a couple of purple dominoes, and I'll stack them, and I'll place them right above this purple domino, and bridge them over top of the clear side-lying dominoes, just like that. Next up, I'm going to get more purple dominoes, and just like this sort of roof here, I will place purple dominoes directly above the bottom of each of the 4 middle U structures. Just like that. And you want to try to line up the corresponding ends of all the purple dominoes. And next up, I have a blue domino, and I will finish this mechanism over here. And you want to place, or try to place, the blue domino perpendicular to this purple domino. And you want to make it directly above the orange domino. Now, if you were to try to do that, you might notice if you look directly above, right here, you'd see that there would be already a very small crack between this blue domino and this overhanging purple on the left. So in this case, you don't want to go too far, or else this blue domino will just rest happily on this overhung bit of domino, and it won't at all tip. That's why you are lining up the orange domino to this overhung part. Next up, depending on the order that you're building, you can finish this mechanism, or you can start building another mechanism over here. Because I'm left-handed, I always work from right to left when I are doing stuff on my own. So that's what I will do. I'm going to make a structure or mechanism right here. So, alrighty, sorry for the jump cut again. So I will start making another mechanism on the right side. So I have an orange domino, which I will place on top of this stack of 2 purple dominoes, and I'll make them perpendicular to each other. And this time I will overhang 1 thickness of a domino to the right. It's a bit difficult to see from this angle, but it is just like the other 2 mechanisms. And then I'll make the U structure for this mechanism, same as before. I'll get another red domino. I'll stand it up on the overhung part of the orange domino. And of course, as you try adjusting the red and orange dominoes, you want the orange domino to have a small gap between this overhung bit of purple. So if you were to look above, you'd still see a crack of light. And you want to try to have this purple domino flush with this red domino. Next up, I have a blue domino, which I will place directly above the orange domino. I'll try to keep the right end of the blue domino flush with the right face of the red domino, and the right end of the orange domino. And just like before, you're going to alternate between U structure and green domino. So in this case, if you look around now, you have green dominoes on the left, green domino on the right, and you want to keep alternating. So the green domino will be on the left this time. Just like that. And of course continue with U structures. Once in a while you might need a few adjustments. You don't want the gaps between the U structures to be any more than 2 thicknesses. So you can adjust a bit. And again, you will end with a U structure. Now the difficult part is you're going to be placing a yellow domino here. So you will have very little room if you finish this U structure, so I suggest starting to place this yellow domino before it's too late. As you can see, it doesn't want to stay. Right now it's on its bounce point, very small push and it will fall. So just a little bit more. And you also want to keep the blue domino away from the overhung purple. There we go. You push a millimeter or so. And it will fall. I'll finish up the green and the U structure. And just like the left side, right here, where you have the sideline clear dominoes, you'll match the same thing on the left without dropping the clear dominoes. Now I'll be a little bit faster as it's pretty much the same as the previous level, except it's reversed, left to right. Next up, you want to continue building roofs just like this on top here, and alternate between sides when you're making mechanisms. And if you reach the top or you want to finish off the tower or the wall, this is how I usually end it off. And I didn't put the yellow domino on yet. Let's do that. There we go, perfect. Well, when you want to finish off the tower, you look at the side that has the mechanism on the top level, and from there on you want to make clusters of 3 purple dominoes right next to each other, as always on their face, with their ends towards you. And now this is the most difficult part. You overhang one on the right, one in between the 2 U structures, and one on the left, like so, and repeat with the next 2 U structures, like so. And depending on the number of U structures, you can keep placing trios of purple dominoes, but I only have 1 spot left with only enough room for 1 domino. So in an attempt to keep it uniform, I'll place it directly above the other purple domino. The other purple dominoes here. Finally, we're going to make a domino line on top or on the roof, and I've mentioned that the faces of these dominoes from bulkdominoes.com are not flat. If you were to place a green domino like that, it will tilt a little bit. It might be a little bit clearer if I were to put that there. You can see a slight tilt. So place them directly on the middle of the purple domino, as they are a little bit flatter there. There might be the occasional bump there, but this is the flattest area. Or if you are into math, it is the most horizontal, the most horizontal tangent. So now the line on top is done, and the second most, or possibly the most important part to start it, is that with the domino line, the first domino that approaches the up wall should be just like the other green dominoes. They should be less than the thickness of a domino away from this leftmost bit. Just like that. And the rest is the regular domino line. Alrighty, so if this is to work, let me zoom out, possibly more than the boundary would allow. If this works, a domino line will go to the right, will hit this mechanism, cause the yellow domino to go down, so on and so forth, and it will go on the roof with another line of dominoes, fall down, and that should be it. Let's hope this works in 3, 2, 1. Perfect. I don't have much to say about the upwall, other than the mechanism and the overall fragility of the trick. Now the mechanism, is indeed difficult to build, especially the first time. The key part, and also the hard part, is placing the yellow domino on the blue domino's sweet spot. The placement does depend on the slight tilt of your working surface, but just keep in mind that if the yellow domino is brought closer to the end of the blue domino, the whole thing will collapse. But if it is brought closer to the middle of the blue domino, the mechanism will not properly trigger. When the wall is finally built, you still need to be careful as usual, as a table nudge will likely set off the mechanisms. Now the wall frame itself is very stable and hard to collapse, so if you do want to completely topple the wall, you'll need to have a regular domino wall or something fall onto the up wall, like in the previous clip. Other than that, the up wall brings a chain reaction upwards, just like the breakaway tower, albeit in a slower pace and with a lot more dominoes. I don't know what that says about the usefulness of this trick, but anyway, this has been the Upwall 2.0 tutorial. Thanks for watching.